So good morning everyone, good morning to Better Together Dorset. I hope that all is well in your world, and good morning to my lovely dear friends on Zoom. So this morning is a Wednesday, and I'm going to share with you an experience that I had last night, because I think it really brings home why we do these well-being ritual practices. So I was booked in to do a yoga class myself after teaching in the evening, so it was quite late, and I tried to do this hour-and-a-half yoga class, and I was utterly incapable of doing it. My body was in such a state of agitation, and there's nothing in particular that I can tell you about as to why that would be. There's nothing in particular traumatizing me at the moment, but I was tired, and what I realised was what I've read in books and I've taught many people, I got the opportunity to feel for myself, which is that when your brain is in the, or when your responses are in the brainstem, which is your reptilian part of your brain, it's your kind of most basic, primal part of you, it's not possible to do a yoga practice, and it's not possible to meditate, because the things that work for that state are massage and breath and really yoga nidra maybe. So yoga can be too much of an ask for some points in your life. Now obviously I'm quite a sensitive person, but even talking to friends and family, who isn't feeling this extraordinary pressure of imagined or real threat that is around us? And so whether or not you consciously know that you're processing that, actually your body will be receiving impulses and messages to judge and filter out how safe you are now. And if there's any kind of perception of lack of safety, then the prefrontal cortex, the higher self, doesn't get a look in, and we stay down in this primal part of our brain. So I'm in my primal part of my brain. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing to try and ground myself and get myself in a better place. So the first thing is I have a super cozy blanket. Heavy blankets make you feel really grounded. I know they use them a lot with children who are super highly sensitive. I have a sandalwood essential oil. Now this is a doTERRA Hawaiian. I don't sell these, so I'm not trying to sell them to you. It's insanely expensive. I really wouldn't suggest you buy it. There are other sandalwoods you could buy. It is really gorgeous. So this is the Hawaiian sandalwood. Because it's so expensive, I won't even put it on me. I literally open the bottle and smell it, and oh my God, it just grounds me straight away. And the other thing I have here is I have a teacup that was given to me by a very dear friend. So when I drink from this teacup, I know that I'm getting a hug. And inside I have a cacao that the same dear friend gave me, and a little bit of hot chocolate in there with almond milk. It's sugary. I know nutritionalists will be going mad. This is just an insane idea. But for me, it's like having a hug in a cup. I've got my candles burning, and I've got my breath. And what I'm going to do, and what I suggest you do, is that you come into a place where you're really supported. Now, normally in meditation, I recommend you sit up, because falling asleep is not helpful. I don't think that's true today. I really recommend lying down. I'm leaning against this cabinet so that I feel really supported. I don't want to use any kind of energy to hold myself up in position today. So I think what all of that was about was find the things that are going to really make you feel held and safe. And only you really know what those things are. For some people, putting the legs up against the wall and lying down, I know that's a really amazing practice too. Okay, so coming into whatever position suits you, dropping the eyelids. And let's take 10 breaths to really arrive. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe just keeping it in and out through the nose, breathing in Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Fifth time. Breathing in. Let's slow it down. Let's smooth the edges. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. You might find your breath comes against these imaginary walls. I know mine is today. Soften into those walls. See if you can just melt them away. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. 2 more times. Breathing in. And breathing out. Last one. On this exhale, let yourself be super, super, super heavy. Whatever little remnants of storytelling are going on inside, we're using the exhale to let go of that. It's not needed right now. This is time for nourishment. So I'm going to guide you through a scan of your body. And I want you to know that there is no way you can do this wrong. And always we're leaning into where the ease is, where the grace is, what feels good. So that inner critic has no place here at all. You can smile when he or she raises her voice and just let her go. Because there's no doing this wrong. For 20 minutes, I will guide you through your body. You will actively breathe. And whatever unfolds is divinely perfect for this moment in time. So let's start up at the crown of our heads and coming into the space at the crown of your head. And the crown is not limited to the physicality of your skull. Very much like the imagery of halos or the actuality of a regal crown. It's this space above the head that emanates light. So bringing your awareness to that space, that might bring your imagined sense if you are feeling like you're unable to feel into it. You can picture it, you can sense it. It's all good. But turning your senses towards the crown space, allow it to expand and open up, becoming receptive. Letting that awareness spread down through your skull, the back of your head, and coming to the internal space within the head. An extraordinary amount of your fluid and your blood flow is in your brain. It's something like 75%. So it's a very watery landscape. There's an extraordinary dance and balance of boundaries between the electrical systems and the fluid systems within the brain. Changes happening. And as you bring your awareness to that internal space, you may get some sense of how much of your energy is here in your headspace. Maybe bring your awareness to the space of your third eye. So the third eye reflects really with the limbic system. It comes into the pineal, the pituitary, the amygdala. And these are the highly tuned systems of the body that help you to see clearly. They're the filtration system that allow you to understand your circumstances, your environment, and the degree of safety around you and within you. The most highly tuned sensory area of your body. So taking your awareness there, it's between the eyebrows, about 1.5 inches back behind the nose. And for some this works as a visual, imagined sense, and for some it can be a felt sense. There's no right or wrong. Coming to the eyelids, the eyes beneath the eyelids. All that communication can now pause, the eyes can rest. The four corners of the eyes can soften. And the breath still rolls through you. As you take your awareness round down the sides of the head to the ears, the intricate workings of the inner ear, giving you balance and stability. Maybe you can sense or visualize the space around the ears, just as we did at the crown. Taking that space in, feeling where your physical body might end, but your subtle body continues. And coming to the space of your nose. So the breath is moving in and out through the nostrils. And there may be a temperature difference between the inhale and the exhale. You might be able to feel the tiny hairs within the nose move as you breathe. And there's no demand on you to stay perfectly still. If you want to wriggle anything or move anything, do. With huge amounts of love and compassion for ourselves, we're just remembering the areas of our body, communicating with them. I see you, I feel you. Dropping down to your lips, the corners of your lips. My goodness, how they communicate. The tongue in your mouth. The lips, as well as the fingertips, are the most sensitive, communicative parts of our body. They take up a massive proportion of our brain space for interpreting our environment. And how we move and how we use our mouth has a huge and tremendous impact on how we feel. So allow that to soften. Allow the jaw to soften. And tongue becoming broader in the mouth. And dropping your awareness down to your throat and just staying there for a moment. Maybe tracing your awareness around the back of your head, the back of your neck. Breath continuing to rise and fall. Allowing the throat to soften. Bringing gentle openness. And ease to the throat. And sometimes as you bring your awareness to each part of yourself, there is a warmth that accompanies it. Dropping down to your collarbones. That beautiful space between the collarbones at the base of your throat. And across the shoulders. In the front of your chest. Across the breastplate. Around the armpits. Another dense space of filtration, the lymph nodes within the armpits, so busy protecting you, filtering out what's not working for you, allowing more space for what is. Are you able to bring your awareness there? And coming around the back to the shoulder blades. If you're sitting against something or lying down, you might be able to sense the foundation beneath you. You might be able to sense the texture of your clothing. If there are any straps, the different pressures against your skin. Your arms, maybe they're wrapped in clothing or maybe they're open to the air. How does the skin feel as you drop down to your forearms, that very soft and tender flesh, the inner forearm, and then into the palms of your hands. And just notice what position they are in. And when your palms are turning upwards, that's traditionally seen as a more receptive, open place. And when your palms are turned downwards, it's more introverted, more reflective, guiding you inwards. So just notice where your hands fell naturally. And feeling into your thumbs and your fingertips. You might be able to sense how much activity one hand has been doing as you've been scrolling and typing and communicating. One finger may even feel dominant to the others here. And then coming back in towards the midline of your body, traveling down through the spinal cord that moves within the spine, down towards your lower ribs. It's a continuation of the brain. Your threads of the nervous system coming out between the vertebrae, coming down through the lower spine. This intricate network of communication and response. Moving down through the sacrum, the tailbone, the spaciousness of the pelvis, the diaphragm beneath the rib cage, maybe feeling each of the ribs as you breathe. They adjust and they move to support you. Maybe feeling the tummy, allowing it to expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. And coming down through the pelvis. Making space for the communication of your nerves as you move down through your legs, through the hip joint, thighs. Let's take a moment to rest our awareness in our thighs. How do they feel? Are there areas of the thigh that are easier to connect with and some that are a little more silent? You can always use your imagination to visualize the entire circumference of your thigh. Dropping into knees. The backs of your knees. The extraordinary internal workings of your knees. The fluid that allows protection. And then moving down through the shins and the calves to your heels, tops of your feet, the soles of your feet and your toes. And maybe just as at the crown and just as at the ears, you can feel the flood of subtle energy around the soles of your feet and maybe at the palms of your hands too, as you take up more space. And take a moment to notice how you feel now. These parts are inextricably linked. Nothing works in isolation. They thread together in this perfect dance of electric currents and water flow to make you who you are, to allow you to feel what you feel. Bathe in that gloriousness, that wholeness of you. Feel the sparks of vitality that surge through you. And allow your reality to be a celebration, a festival of the miracle that you are. Start to wriggle fingers and toes. Allow a gentle smile across your face, not for the benefit of anyone else. It's just a smile because it feels good. And maybe rub your hands together if that feels good. And for some people, you may want to lay their hands over their eyes. Letting the eyelids gently open as we come back into the space. Let your day, let your reality be a celebration, a festival of all the magic that is within you. Have a super, super day. Namaste. Thank you, guys, at Better Together Dorset. See you again on Monday.